Hello, bookish friends in the internet. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And happy Friday, and happy almost Christmas! Yay! I'm super excited for it. But anyways, for today's video, it's a very exciting video. I've been wanting to do this all month, but I wanted to wait till like the end of Bookmas. So this is the 22 books I wish I got to in the year of 2022, but never did. So there's a lot of like new releases and backlist titles and some middle grades, adult, contemporary, YA fantasy, the usual genre. So I am excited, and without further ado, let's just jump into it. If you guys have not yet, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. I would appreciate that. And let's just jump into this video because we got 22 books here to talk about. So this first book has been on my TBR for literally months on months on months. It's a sequel in a trilogy that the trilogy is now completed, and I also wanted to put the third book on my list, but I was like, let me just do this one, and that is Kingdom of the Curse by Kerri Maniscalco. Like I said, this is the second installment of the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I absolutely loved book one. I read it during Thanksgiving in like 2020 and absolutely loved it. Gave it like 5 stars. And then I started this one last year for my book club because it was a book club pick, and I never finished it. So I'm thinking I'm going to restart this whole entire trilogy next year. I'm going to reread book one and then jump into 2 and 3 because my friend Lori and Lori at the Chatty Bookhorn, we're going to buddy read book 2 and 3 because she also hasn't read 2 and 3 yet. So I was like, oh, perfect series to reread then, since I only need to reread book 1. So yeah, you guys know what this is about. It's very popular here on BookTube, and I just need to finish the series already because like I said, I really love book 1. Next book I have is a backlist title. I think this came out 2019. Yeah, I was right, 2019. And I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about it ever since it came out. And that is Middle Game by Seanan McGuire. This is a book that is very hyped up, and I hear can be very confusing as well. I read all the Wayward Children books that are out right now in that series, and I absolutely loved each and every one of them. So I'm excited to start a new series by Seanan McGuire. And I just hear nothing but fantastic things about this. And my friend Cam at, oh, what's their Instagram? Hold on, I have a note from them. No, not that one. From Paperback Prince on Instagram gave this to me as winning one of their giveaways that they was hosting earlier this year. And they were like, what is one book from your wish list that you want? And they actually got me this, so I'm really excited. And I'm sad that I still haven't read it yet, but if I remember correctly, this follows 2 twins, one who's like a math magician and then the other's who's like science geek, I guess. And it's just a dark academic fantasy. And I own book 2 on my shelf, and I haven't read book 2 because I haven't read book 1, but I wish I got to this one in 2022, and I just haven't yet. Next book I got is a very popular new release, and that is Iron Widow by Saran J. Zhao. The cover reveal for book 2 just got revealed, and oh my god, it is stunning. I love the yellow. I love how it's orange and then yellow. I wonder if this is only a duology or if this is going to be a trilogy. As of right now, it's only a duology, so I think the second one is called Heavenly Tyrant, and that comes out in August of next year. So even though I am sad that I didn't get to this very hyped up book, I feel like next year would be perfect because, like I said, book 2 comes out in August and it's only December right now. So there's a few months to wait for book 2, but I cannot wait to see what this is all about. I don't really know too much about it. Again, this is another popular new release that I haven't got to yet. And I know this is the author's debut novel too, so that's really fun to support. But yeah, I really don't know too much about it. I think it's like Mulan inspired, which I love Mulan, so that would be a very fun story to read about. And I hear there's a crazy cliffhanger in here as well, just because there is a sequel coming. Next book is a book that my friend Sydney bought for me earlier this year, and I heard somebody else on Book talk about this, and the way they described it, I was like, oh my god, this sounds so good. I need to add this to my want to read list. And that is Princess of Souls by Alexandra Christio. This is a dark Rapunzel's reimagine or fairy tale retelling. I can't remember which one they said, but I know there is a love triangle in here, and I heard there's also a morally gray character and a hero's quest, or I think it's anti-hero. I can't remember exactly. But this cover, I absolutely love this cover. I read To Kill a Kingdom by this author whenever that one came out, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do in this. And also, even though it's not out yet, she just announced that she's going to have a new book called The Night Witch, and that comes out in October of 2023. So even though I don't have it yet, I'm still excited for her new book, even though I haven't read this one. But if you know me, if you know me and my reading taste, you know I love me a good fairy tale retelling, especially when they're done right. And yeah, I'm just so mad that I haven't got to this one because my friend Sydney bought this one for me off my wish list as well. Next one is my middle grade series that I meant to read this year but never got around to catching up on, and that is Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. You guys know I own all the books up until I think 8.5 and the newest one, book 9, but book 9 just came out this month, or not this month, but came out in November, and it's in hardcover, so I'm waiting for the paperback to be released for that one. But this is another series my friend Lori and I want to buddy read this. This is supposed to be a 10-book series, and I think, I'm not too sure, because according to Goodreads it says 2023, but of course that can change and whatnot. But according to Goodreads, book 10 is supposed to come out in 2023. So if it does come out in 2023, I have a whole entire series to binge read. This follows our main character named Sophie Foster, who finds herself having magical powers, and that she is an elf, and she has a found family in here, and she travels with 2 best friends. And it's been a while since I've read the first 3 books, so I need to get back into this world. I think I might reread 1 through 3 and then pick up 4 for the first time, but I know a lot of people have been really loving this book series, so I'm excited to see what all the hype is about, and I hope I love it, because I own all of them and I haven't read book 4 yet. Next one is a very surprising book that I bought this year, but it's also one that I was anticipating. I read the first book to this because of Book Talk, but I also read it, I think, a little bit before Book Talk was around. But that is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. As you guys know, I don't read a whole lot of romances anymore, or if I do, I'm just like slowly getting into them. I read It Ends With Us last year, I think, around this time, so I really enjoyed that. I shouldn't say I really enjoyed it because it was a dark romance novel with heavy topics, but I'm curious to see what she's going to do in the sequel. And again, it's everywhere. It didn't win the Goodreads Choice Awards, which I was shocked about, but this book is just everywhere. It's everywhere at Target, and it's all over my local Barnes & Noble as well. And I see it everywhere on everyone's channel or just anyone's booktube platform. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about this, except it's a follow-up to It Starts With Us. It Ends With Us, sorry. So yeah, I hope it's good. Hopefully I'll get to it. I might save this for the summertime because I feel like this is a good like summertime read. And there's even like a beach or an ocean or something. I mean, beach and ocean are the same thing. An ocean or like a pond or something, I don't know, on the cover. So I might save this for the summertime. Another book I meant to get to this year, I would say gonna give myself a little leeway for this one because this is the like newest book in my collection. I bought this, I want to say August maybe, and that is The Jasmine Throne by Tashi Shuri. Again, another book I hear nothing but amazing things about. And also, the size of this one kind of scares me. It is like 600 pages, I think. Oh, wow, only 530 pages it is. So that's kind of thick. Um, I know this has a female-female relationship in here, and it's a very adult, and it's also like heavy with the political and all that, politician and whatnot. Um, you guys know I don't really do summaries, but I think they have to find their brother who goes missing or whatnot. I just hear nothing but amazing things about this. Um, and I think, I'm not too sure either, but I think book 3 comes out in 2023 as well, which I'm excited to dive into a new fantasy world and to see what all the hype is about for this one. Next book is a sequel, and I read book 1, absolutely loved it. Don't know why I haven't continued, because again, I own all of the books in this series, but I haven't continued with it. And that is the Seven Realms series by Cindy William Chima, or with this title, it is the Exile Queen. I just love that title, I don't know why. This is book 2 in the Seven Realms series, and like I said, I loved book 1. I read it last year during the pandemic days, so that was very fun. That kept me entertained. I think the reason why I haven't read this is because A, it's been so long since I read book 1, and B, it took me a while to get my hands on book 2 and book 2, 3, and 4, because I tried requesting them from my library, but my library didn't have them for some reason. They only had book 1, so I was like, oh, let me see if Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and I think I did that, and I was able to get all 3 books of the series. So again, another series I can binge read in 2023, and again, hopefully I will love it, because I own all the books in this series, and I just hear nothing but amazing things, and I know I'm gonna love this series because I love the Warrior Heir series by Cindy William Chima, so we'll see what this is about. But yeah, hear nothing but amazing things, and this is another book I wish I got to in 2022, but I didn't. This next book is another popular new release, and I actually think I might read it this weekend after I'm reading my holiday book, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Balder, I think is the author's last name. I hauled this in my November book haul because my friend Sydney, she also bought this book for me, so thank you so much, Sydney. I think this was another one of those, like, where I sent a TikTok to her at like midnight, and she was like, well, you might want to check your mail the next day, and she was right, this arrived, and I was so excited. I hear the audiobook is narrated by the author himself, so that would be an interesting experience to listen to. I have the audiobook from my Libby account, so I'm excited to listen to it and to see what this world is all about. I think these 2 characters might be love interests, or they just might be like companions to each other. And I hear this kind of ends on a like open ending note, and my friend Mel from Completely Melanie, she read this recently, and she talked about this in her reading vlog, and she said it kind of ended open-ended enough for like a sequel, but I don't know if there will be a sequel. But this is again another popular new release, and I'm excited to see what this is about, and I know this is what people call cozy read, so excited to see what that's all about as well. Next book I have is another popular new release, and this is one that I actually pre-ordered from Target, and I never really buy my book. I mean, buy books from Target, but not from the like app or website. But I pre-ordered Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I was shocked that I haven't read this yet, because I started reading this over the summer because it was a perfect like summertime read, and I got 150 pages into it, and then I put it down, never picked it back up until like the fall time, and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. So I don't really need to say too much. It just says, one summer, 2 rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. And what I remember from the first 150 pages, it was like in a small town setting, happening on a vacation as well. So what I read so far was really good, but again, I might pick this up and then restart it. And I also believe this won the Goodreads Choice Awards for Best Romance. So that would be interesting to see if it is leading up to the hype. And again, I just feel like I missed my timing with this one, and hopefully next year I'll read it. So yeah, future me, if you want a contemporary book, pick up Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And I was really shocked that Book of the Month didn't do a hardcover edition for it, because Book of the Month did her... Does she only have 2 out? I think she only has 2 out, right? But Book of the Month didn't do this one for some reason. Book Lover, People We Meet on Vacation, and Beach Read, yeah, she has those 2 out, and then this one, of course. So I was kind of surprised Book of the Month didn't do this. So that's why this one's in paperback and the rest are hardcovers. But anyways, without further ado, this is on the list. Next one is a book that my friend Taylor bought for me over the summer, and I keep saying this every time I mention it, but it's like a sequel I've been dying to read, and I'm shocked that I haven't got to this, because I own an e-arc of this from NetGalley, and I'm like, I just need to read this so I can read and review it for my NetGalley score. And that is Beasts of Ruin by Ayana Gray. I think I haven't read this one yet because there's no news on a 3rd book, and I think Ayana herself said that there might be a 3rd book, or it's only a duology, and I'm kind of nervous if it is only a duology. But again, I think there is a 3rd book coming. There just hasn't been any news about it yet. And a funny story about this, my friend Taylor was like, is there one book on your wish list that you don't own yet? And I was looking through my pre-order list that I had over the summertime, and I noticed I didn't have this on my pre-order list, and I thought I have already pre-ordered it, but I didn't. So my friend Taylor went to our local Barnes & Noble, and she bought this book for me. So thank you so much, Taylor. I'm shocked myself that I still haven't read it. This cover is gorgeous though, and I don't know, I'm nervous because I love Beasts of Prey. I read that for my book club last year, and it was just such a fun experience. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what book 2 is going to be about. I hope it's not a duology. If it is, I'm going to be so sad and disappointed. Not disappointed, but you know, annoyed, I guess, that it's only a duology. But again, I'll probably read this sometimes next year. That way I can get caught up before, if there's going to be a 3rd book out. Next book I have, sorry, I'm not sure what order these are in, but next one I have is Amari and the Great Games by B.B. Allison. This is the 2nd installment of the middle grade trilogy. I'm not too sure what the series name is, but this is the 2nd book. I really love book 1. I read it last year. It was such a fun, fast-paced read. It reminded me a little bit of like Nevermore meets Artemis Fowl. I feel like that's like a weird combination, but if you read those 2 books, I think you would really love this series. Again, another series I think that's actually going to be a trilogy, so this trilogy I think might be complete in 2023 as well, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this was another one of my most anticipated read of the year. I didn't pre-order this one, but I did bought it the week it came out. And I just haven't read it yet, and I'm shocked. My friend Clint from Reads Reader here on BookTube, I'll leave all my friends that I mentioned down below. You should check them all out. But Clint loved this one the most. When he finished it over the summer, he immediately texted in our Queer Reads book club chat. He was like, oh my gosh, has anyone read the sequel yet? And I'm like, no, but I have it on my shelf, so hopefully I'll get to it soon. And it's like December 23rd, and I haven't got to it yet, so hopefully again next year I'll get to this one. Sorry for such a long video, but another middle grade book that I meant to get to this year, and I'm very mad and a little bit embarrassed by myself of not reading this, because I bought this at YALLWEST, well, when I was in YALLWEST. I actually talked to Danielle. You didn't see it in the vlog because it got cut off a little bit. But I actually, like, after the vlog footage of me meeting Danielle, we talked about this book because this book wasn't out yet. But she was telling me that she had a new middle grade out, and she knows I love middle grade. So she's like, you should check out my new book, The Marvelers. And I was like, oh my god, it sounded amazing. And she actually I still have them, which I'm shocked I still have them. But she was handing out like these little character arts from the Marvelers, even though she didn't really have them. Like, she even gave me a signed book plate, which I need to put in my book. And yeah, she was just such a sweetheart to me. She was so kind and lovely. She actually signed my copy of Blackout, which is a short story collection that she has with Angie Thomas and so many wonderful authors. So when I bought this at Yawis, I think this actually I bought this early, if I remember correctly, because this didn't came out till like the 2nd, and I was coming home the 1st, I think, if I remember correctly. Again, I don't really know too much about this, but the way that Danielle was describing it, I was like, oh, this sounds really good. It sounds right up my alley. And I haven't read it yet, and I'm so sad. So hopefully I'll get to this. I do know book 2 is scheduled to come out in 2023. I think it's like September. So if I wanted to, I could wait a little bit more for the sequel to come out. The next book is a backlist title. This is one that I actually meant to buddy read with my friend Taylor, but both me and her has just been so busy with our jobs and just normal life. And we haven't got to this one yet, but I think we're going to save this next month. That way we can just binge read this duology. And that is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I love the Alex and Eliza trilogy by this author. I absolutely fell in love with the romance that she has. So I'm excited to see if there's going to be any romance in here, because this is a fantasy book. And like I said, I do own the sequel. It's in paperback, so it doesn't really match the beautiful hardcover that I have. But I still have it, and I'm still going to binge read the series next year with my friend Taylor. And it's only a duology as well, so that's going to be a fun one and done type of thing with my friend Taylor. But yeah, we love Melissa's writing, and I still can't believe I was in the same room with Melissa when I was at Yawis. She was so funny, so sweet, and I'm sad that I didn't get anything signed by her, but she was just so fun to see in person. And yeah, I just can't wait to dive into this, and hopefully I'll get to this, because if I don't get to this, I have a rule of if I don't get to any books from 2019 and at the end of the year in 2023, I have to unhaul it. So hopefully that won't be the case with this series. Next is another popular new release, and this is the one case where Book Talk made me buy it, and that is The Atlas Six. I'm really not going to talk too much about this. All I know is it follows 6 different characters, and it's a secret, betrayal, seduction, power, welcome to the Alexandrian Society. That whole blurb on the back literally sold me at Target, so I was like, sold. But yeah, book 2 came out late this year, so hopefully I'll binge read book 1 and 2, and then I think book 3 is also scheduled for 2023. So 2023 has a lot of good books coming your way, or our way, I should say. Next is another backlist title, and this one I haven't read in 2022 because I didn't love the sequel, because the sequel is a bit more adult than I expected, and a bit more sci-fi than I expected, and that is Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is the 3rd installment of the Red Rising series, or technically trilogy if you want. I know book 6 comes out in 2023, so another 2023 release. But yeah, this book is just so huge, and I'm intimidated by the size, and I do love the audiobook narrator for the series, so maybe I'll pick it up sometime soon, and hopefully I'll continue on with this world. And again, book 6 comes out in 2023. I think it comes out in July. But yeah, book 6 comes out finally, so I cannot wait to see what happens with the rest of this world, and to see what happens to Mustang and Darrow and all of our other amazing characters. But yeah, Golden Sun wasn't my favorite read of the year, so we'll see what's gonna happen with this one. Next book I have is another book that I was supposed to buddy read with my friend Taylor, but we again haven't been in the mood to read it yet, and that is This Vicious Grace by Emily Thyde. This is book, as you can see by the sticker, is a 30% off deal from Barnes & Noble, and we saw the cover and it was super pretty on the shelf, and the end pages are super pretty as well. And we read the synopsis. It says three weddings, 3 funerals. Alyssa's gift from the god is supposed to magnify a partner's magic not to kill every suitor she touches. And we read that short little summary and we were like, intrigued? Yes, we are. So we both picked up a copy. So hopefully sometimes next year, Taylor and I can buddy read this. And I think, again, another 2022 or 2023 new release is going to come out for book 2. Next one is a book of the month book that I didn't get to this month, or not this month, but this year, and that is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, I think is how you say it. I'm hoping, since Book of the Month did book 1, I'm hoping Book of the Month will do book 2. Book 2 also comes out in 2023, but book 2 doesn't come out till November, so I think that's why my friend Taylor, or not Taylor, my friend Lori and I haven't picked up this one yet, because we're kind of waiting for the sequel to come out. I hear this is an Aladdin retelling, and it's set in an adult fantasy world, so I'm excited for that. And again, I just hear nothing but great things about this one. Next one is an backlist title as well, but this is another case of Book Talk made me buy it, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I put this on my top 23 books I want to read in 2023, and I was sending my list to my friend Sydney, and Sydney's like, oh my gosh, I actually read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and I absolutely loved it. So hopefully I'll love this one too, because me and Sydney has similar reading tastes. So, and I know this whole trilogy is completed, and there's like a spin-off series coming, I think, or the spin-off series is already out. Or it could just be like a standalone set in this world. I'm not too positive because I'm not in this fandom yet, but I know a lot of you guys have loved this series and this world, and I heard that if you love One of Us is Lying, I think you'll love this. So I'm excited to see what this mystery thriller has in store for us. Next is a middle grade book, and that is Maya and the Return of the Godlings. I don't know why I forgot the title. This is the second installment of this middle grade trilogy. I absolutely loved book 1. I actually received book 1 as an ARC from, oh, what's the publishing name? Simon, nope. Oh my god, I forgot the publishing name. Anyways, I received book 1 as an ARC from the publishing company, and I absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars, and I did started reading this one. I'm literally 30 pages into this, according to where I am on the flap. So I definitely need to restart the sequel, but I was really enjoying it at the time, and I just don't know why I haven't finished it yet. But it is such a short book that I feel like it will be a perfect read to read in December. So I'll probably restart this, and then I'll pick up book 3, because I do own book 3, and again, I haven't read book 3 because I haven't read book 2. Another case where I haven't read book 1 yet, but I bought the sequel, and that is Gideon and the Ninth. I'm not going to talk too much about this because this is the second and final book on this list, and it's very popular. Alico the Ninth, I think, is the 4th title, comes out next year in October, so I have time, and I'm very intimidated by this series. I own book 1 and 2 on my shelf, and I'm waiting for book 3 to come out in paperback. So I'm excited to see what this is going to be about, and I hear this is confusing when you first start, so Lori and I are going to buddy read this one, I think in January, or we're going to save it for February. I can't remember exactly, but if it's going to be in January, you're going to see it on my January TBR. And the final book on my TBR, or not TBR, but the final book in the 22 books that I wish I got to in the year 2022 is this book. Do I need to say the title? Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a beast. You guys know what this is about. I don't need to keep repeating myself, but I'm actually hosting a read-along for Priory of the Orange Tree. I haven't announced this anywhere on Instagram or Book Talk yet, but I'm gonna be hosting a read along for Priory. I haven't done a page breakdown or anything like it because I'm waiting till like it gets closer to February. That way I can prepare myself and then let my follower know. But yeah, I'm very excited. My friend Sammy over at Books and Dogs and Coffee, I think is her Instagram. Again, I'll leave her down below. She actually recommended this to me throughout the whole year, and I still haven't read it yet. But I'm excited to host a read along for this, and I know a few of my friends said they would love to join. So, and I'm also reading the prequel novel, A Day of Fallen Night, for my book club. That's going to be my March and April pick for 2023, and I'm very, very excited for it. But I want to read this one first before getting into the prequel, even though you don't have to, I heard, but I hear there might be some Easter eggs from book one in the prequel, so that would be exciting. So there you have it. Those are all the books that I wish I got to in 2022, and I haven't yet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was such a long one, and I'll chat with you guys down in the comments below. If you would like to buddy read any of these books with me, please let me know, and we can try and work something out for 2023, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon, and once again, I'll see you guys later. Bye!